Hi, this is Jessica with NNC Construction, and today we're talking with Lori about this beautiful kitchen renovation that we recently completed. And you can see the full video on YouTube a little bit later. But for now, we're just going to talk about this renovation. So Lori, my first question for you is this is NNC's first project with you, but have you ever had a renovation done by somebody else?
No, I have not had any renovations to the house. We've been here about 20 years, and aside from outside doing something, we've really done nothing inside other than carpeting and some paint.
So little things.
Little tiny things.
So what made you decide to go with us?
Well, we had been wanting to do the kitchen for years, and just kept putting it off because I just dreaded this whole process.
Okay.
You hear horror stories about contractors that come in. I had asked a couple friends. We had a friend who had a bathroom redone. They had a horrible experience with it. It still isn't right. But we just made the decision, let's get someone in, get some bids, different things like that. Unfortunately, it was during COVID. And a lot of people either didn't want to come out this area or didn't call me back.
Okay.
Or, came out and then I never heard anything more from them. So they came out, saw what they could do. So Nelson and you were nice enough to call me back.
Yes.
And, he came out and looked at everything that I thought would be a problem. He said it would be easy.
Okay.
Not an issue. He gave me a bid that was about where I thought it should be.
Okay.
So I was impressed by that. I also went online and read all the reviews.
And we have quite a few.
And, that made all the difference.
Right.
That, going with NNC was because the reviews were so good about the communication and everything. All my fears were kind of put to rest a little bit with
Glad to hear that.
To start with. And then once Nelson came in and throughout the whole project, just the communication was great. It did take longer than I probably expected from the get-go because of the delays from COVID, but
right.
Everything, went smoothly once the project actually started.
And that was one of the things I wanted to touch on. You mentioned COVID. So I know because of COVID and shipping delays and all the things that have happened in the last couple of years, there were delays. So my question is, did you ever have any concerns about things not getting done or really delaying the start of your project? Were you concerned about that at all?
No, we weren't in a rush to get it done for a certain amount of time or anything like that. Originally we were hoping to start in October, but then, and that was probably realistic, but my indecisiveness in choosing things didn't help the situation. So that was on me.
Right.
And then, once we got everything firmed up, he had told me spring, because we were looking at about a 12 week, 6 month, I was 6 month delay on the cabinets. Yeah. It went from 12 weeks earlier in the year to 6 months.
It's even worse now.
And, he said April, May, and May 2nd is when the project started. So he was pretty good
And you had a pretty extensive remodel. This wasn't just a kitchen reno. We took a wall out and all kinds of fancy stuff. So start to finish, I know one of the things we mentioned off camera is that you were really happy because once we started, we were here. It wasn't like you were hanging on to a kitchen for 3 months waiting for somebody to come back and finish it.
Right. Well, Nelson and the crew, pretty much walked me through the whole process. When they started the demo, we had a wall taken down, everything ripped up. They put plastic up everywhere to try to contain the dust as best as possible. Every day, they said 7:30. They showed up at 7:30.
Yeah.
I had to get up and get ready for them to come every day by 7:30. And, before they left, they cleaned up everything.
Right.
And, with all of the stress of everything, they helped set up a kitchen in the other room for us so we could at least do something in the way of cooking.
Right.
Just the whole process every day. They told me what they were going to do, what the plan was. At the end of the day, hey, we'll be back tomorrow. If for some reason they weren't going to be back tomorrow or there was a delay with something, they told me and kept me in the loop with everything.
Well, we appreciate it. That's what we try to do. We've heard over and over again from so many people about how communication is lacking with a lot of contractors. So we do try to make sure we're keeping you in the loop.
And it was great. The communication was wonderful.
So this kind of touches on my last question. Specifically, what can you share about this process that you would recommend to other potential customers?
Right. Just the professionalism of the crew. Very much accommodating to the process and realizing that it was stressful for us and trying to be as minimally disruptive as they possibly could.
Right.
I would also like to say that, Nelson and his suggestions made a huge difference because, as I mentioned, I'm not the most decisive person,
Right.
and I wavered a lot on things, and I have trouble seeing the big picture. So, they brought the cabinets up. I thought, oh, are the cabinets the right color? What did I do? Did I pick the right thing? He's like, you'll be fine, like talk me off the ledge many a time. And, even just the lights, like I had 3 lights and he's like, nah, I think you want 2. And I'm like, well, I want 3 because trust me, you want 2. We did 2. So glad I didn't do 3. So, just even his expertise and knowledge and everything and saying we could do this, we couldn't do this. When we changed the design a little bit, he went with us. He told us how much more he thought it would cost. And actually, it was less than he originally predicted.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
From my standpoint, everything went off without a hitch. He told me we would be done before July 4th for our party, and we were, and everybody loved the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have for you, Lori. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Well, thank you, and thank you for making my house a home again.
Appreciate that. See you next time.